sure that they improved the quality, but they also gave that warranty, that 100,000 mile warranty, to basically convince people that they're a better company now. So that's the story behind it, on why they give that 100,000 warranty, because they were known for crappy cars. That was their first strategy in the U.S. And then when it failed, because everyone bought it because it was cheap.
They got LeBron.
And then
remember, LeBron was like, "I'm driving a Kia" or whatever, and they made like the high-end car. And I feel like that's when they turned it around, when they had like LeBron sponsoring it and Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Chris Paul.
Yeah, look, Hyundai has Genesis, right? The Genesis brand, which if you get it as a used car, it's super cheap. It depreciates in value so quickly. And it's a luxury car. But again, can't replace the value or the brand name of, of a Benz or a Beamer, right? Those are just traditional luxury.
What about Bentley? You forgot Bentley.
You're just going off the rap song. Beamer, Benzo, Bentley. Beamer, Benzo, Bentley.
Well, I'll just tell you this.
In China, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I used to have a Porsche and a Range Rover, and I actually wasn't as happy as now having a hybrid. Because when you have a Porsche and a Range Rover, people expect things from you, and there's also just like a lot of jealousy, especially when you're young, 24, 25. And now that I drive a crappy car, if I go to my tenants and I'm like, I'm raising rent, or I whenever you cut a business deal, if you have a shitty car, they accept it because they feel bad for you. You're like, oh God, this landlord's not doing that well. Look how crappy his car is. It's the hack, bro. It's the hack. I'm telling you, drive a crappy car if you're a landlord. No one gets mad at the landlord that raises rent with a crappy car. You roll in there with a Maserati or a Porsche or a Range Rover, you can't be raising rent.
Yeah, so
that's an interesting idea, man. Like, I like that. I like that. The crappy car landlord.
And even in business deals too, it was like hilarious. When I had the Porsche and the Range Rover, it was just always hard, when I was nickeling, diming people. And then when I have the crappy car, a lot of times they actually accept. They're like, damn, this guy has a shitty car, so let's give him the better deal. I learned from Dragon Ball Z.
That's good to have. Always.
In Dragon Ball Z,
you're supposed to. They're broke, but they should.
In Dragon Ball Z, the key to Dragon Ball Z was you're supposed to hide your power level. And I think it's like the true in the real world too, with like your wealth. Hide your power level, and then when they piss you off, you go, oh, and then your power level breaks through Scouter.
Hey, yo, you remember that? You guys remember that clip where Vegeta goes, "It's over 9,000." I remember my friend had got
Kakarot?
service, and the bill was like over, it was like 10 G's or something, and then someone sent a meme with Vegeta going, "It's over 9,000."
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Seriously.
We called it the battle of the ballers because people were spending crazy on bottle service.
Oh, what was hilarious is, so one of my USC friends that, used to pop bottles all the time, when I took him to the coffee thing, he's like, dude, this is way better, dude. I only spend like $5-10 and the girls are way cooler. They're not stuck up LA models.
Yeah, dude. Gosh, I've never been. I wish I was a young guy again, and I would go.
Well, I think that the best investment you can make long term, like I don't know if people think like this is like something that you can consider, but the best investment I think as a young guy is getting your own property and then throwing parties. Cause like, I don't know if I ever told you guys about this. So I got like my first house was like a 6-bedroom, 3-bath house. And it used to be a fraternity house. Like I rented to people in my fraternity. And so we literally had our own like underage, well, it wasn't underage because I was 22 at the time, but it was literally like a bar and a nightclub. And what was better is we actually lived walking distance to one of the best nightclubs in Orange County. So we would charge for an after party because you know how clubs shut down at 2 p.m. So we would come back to the house, we would have like booze and all that stuff. It would be like an after party and we would charge money to get in. And it was always free for girls. So the ratio would always be like really good.
What?
We're talking about high school and college.
We had a racket like that in high school.
Dude, I made one night $1,000 cash. I made $1,000. Like the alcohol would always be less than like $200 because I would, obviously buy really cheap alcohol.
Yeah, so you buy a keg for like $250, and then you host a party, $5 a head. 200 people are going to show up. You make 1,000 exactly.
And it's a way better experience too. Like, who are you? Oh yeah, this is my house. Like, I don't know. Like, I was a college athlete at UCI, but like owning a house was better. Chicks are way more down. So, but I forgot to put that in the FHA loan thing. I should have been like, because I made easily throwing parties like more than 15 grand, which was the down payment for my house. So yeah, like I want to say I made probably 30 to 40,000 over 5 years or 3 years of throwing parties. Yeah, it was dope. And then like the DJs, I never had to pay. Like I just had friends that like would want to DJ because like we actually pulled good talent. So like they would just come because like they knew the ratio was always good. So I'd never pay for DJs. I already had a maid cleaner, so I would just purposely have the maid clean on Sundays or Saturdays. So it was like we would have the party, and then the maid that was supposed to come clean anyways would come to clean. Yeah, Annie got mad that I was talking about that. She's like, "What are you talking about?"
Hey, we're only reliving our childhood. Not necessarily planning for future endeavors.
We've been talking zero, like crypto and stocks. We're like completely going off topic.
Market's crashing.
Yo, slow money green.
No, market's up. Market's up.
Remember to give me a thumbs up on YouTube. That's cool, dude. I got 2 people from Facebook. They came on my YouTube. Thank you, guys. Thank you, YouTube.
I don't know what you heard about me.
So what happened to 50 Cent? Did he make any other good investments other than vitamin water?
Dude, he's making a killing with his like TV.
I don't think so. I think
he's not in crypto?
Oh, is he now?
No.
I just want to give a shout out to Slow Money Green. Thank you for coming on this YouTube Live.
I think he owned like 1% of like the network.
By the way, I can't show this on TikTok, but I can show it on YouTube. If you guys were wondering, this is what I use. It's the HIT by Yocan. Highly recommend. Donnie Crypto, thank you for the follow. So as the market keeps going up, glad to be here. Much to learn. And you know what, dude? We're not doing a good job, though. You guys need to ask better questions, or we'll just talk about throwing parties in college and making money. Did I talk about tutoring? How I made money tutoring?
No.
Dude, that's a great hack, especially if you have like a college degree. You do have to live nearby an affluent area, but parents spend a lot of money on tutoring, and it's actually kind of easy because now you can Google everything. Like literally, I was just getting paid to go to these like rich kids' houses and basically Google stuff for them. And then I used to do review classes for the AP exams, and it would be $70 per a person for a what is it? It was like an hour and a half review. And sometimes I would get like 7 to 10 people. So I'd make like $700 an hour just doing review classes. It was dope. Oh, and then it was all cash. I was my own private business. And I got my business through Craigslist back in the day. Craigslist and Facebook.
Nice.
But you can't outsource your time. And now I think it would be smarter to do it digitally. Like I think there's like online digital like Zoom tutors. So you don't even have to travel. Like maybe meet in person once or twice and then set up your sessions online.
Like back when I was in high school, I would basically do the virtual assistant just so they can answer all my questions for me.
Where'd you get your virtual
You did
assistants?
virtual assistants? Like you hired private tutors, that kind of thing?
Yeah, and I just basically gave them my assignment and was like, yeah, just do it. I'll tip you double.
Yo, shout out to Slow Money Green. He says his kid is about to take over as executive director of the Stanford Incubator for crypto. So that is gangster. Can you tell us what the next best crypto comes out of that incubator?
Let's go, man.
So I am buying Bitcoin at this level, but I'm not going to buy if it goes back over 40,000. I think under 40,000 is fine. Like anywhere in the 30s is fine. Just always leave dry powder because I still think that it can go below 30,000. So if you have dry powder, you should keep buying. If you're panicked and you didn't feel good about the drop, then when it gets closer to 40, you should sell a little bit and just wait for it to come back down. And if it doesn't come back down, don't whatever. Don't own so much Bitcoin that you're panicking and you have to sell.
Yeah, I like to rebalance my portfolio. I always keep 20% cash in each portfolio.
You should have your son have his own YouTube channel or do a live stream of this crypto incubator. I might have to come up to Palo Alto. I don't live that far away, and I actually have a place to stay. So maybe I'll come and I'll become the videographer. By the way, I can actually take rips on the YouTube live stream. So can't do that on TikTok.
I'm posting risque content again.
Well, I was gonna go to the gym, but Annie won't let me go to the gym, so I have to sit here and get, I have to get out of my mind to talk to you guys because you guys are boring.
I'm just watching Alibaba.
Yeah, I've lost so much money in that company.
I sold out.
0.25%.
So someone asked a good question.
I'm underperforming in my individual stocks because of the Chinese stocks. Horrible.
I want to ask all you guys as investors. This is a great question. Dude, YouTube, you get a shout out. What is it? A Hunter. How much cash do you have on the sidelines at any time? You guys want to talk about that? How do you do your 20%? 20%
of my, if, let's say it's my crypto portfolio, 20%, stock portfolio, 20%, and then real estate, I have a cash reserve. Shit happens in real estate all the time. So,
yo, are we talking net of debt or are we talking just cash?
So I'm net of debt. I don't hold a lot of cash. I'm usually just net debt. I usually just have margin credit lines. I don't hold a lot of cash.
Okay. So net of debt. So I have a lot of cash, right? I have 115K cash, but net of the debt I owe.
You wouldn't put any of that in stable coins? Would you consider putting some in stable coins and getting the 9%? Maybe put 10, 20K just to test it out?
No, thank you.
Even though I have 50K?
I only like to play their video games. Please leave me alone.
Hey guys, I gotta hop off. I got a DAO meeting I gotta get ready for.
Come back and tell us about it.
Later.
Yeah, tell us about it.
all right, take care.
Okay, man. Hey, take it easy.
My vaporizer is breaking. My vaporizer is breaking. It's not hitting like it used to. Got to get another one.
Oh, man. I quit a long time ago. So sad.
You save a lot of money. The problem with MJ is you consume a lot more than I feel like booze. Because booze, you get the hangover, but MJ, there's no hangover.
Dude, I spend more than a teacher's salary on my habit. I'm not even kidding. My tax guy is where's 60 grand? And I'm you don't even want to know, bro. This is a year.
I quit 3 years ago.
I'm down 7 grand on my Planet 13 stock. Whoops. I thought Planet 13 would go to the moon, and I think it still will, but I'm getting killed.
Wait, what's Planet 13 again?
It's one of the biggest MJ.
Dispensary.
If you go to Vegas, they have shops. They have shops in LA and Orange County, too.
Russell. It's okay.
And Voyager, too. I bought Voyager, and it crashed, too. Voyager's doing garbage. So I decided I'm not going to buy anymore, but I'm just going to hodl now. Yeah, it's amazing how the market crashed for a week and then it's up before this meeting. By the way, Cryptographer, do you want to come on my Facebook? I would love to get Cryptographer live. Cryptographer has some of the best comments, and he's been an OG. He's always been here, and I don't know. I like some of his comments and opinions. I feel like he would contribute a lot.
What happened to your boy, Pelt Token guy? Haven't seen him.
I think he went into hiding. I think he took all the money and went into hiding.
Yeah, see, that's why I say trust no influencer if they start any project.
I don't blame
Tough
him
guy.
either, dude. He's like he had the salesman. Oh, can one day, but driving. Okay, no worries.
Guys, what do you guys think? What's going to happen in Ukraine and Russia and the U.S. and everyone else?
It's all just a flex. I think it's bad for Russia to go to war, so I think he's just doing it to like flex.
Apparently, Biden is sending written responses.
Oh my god, I'm so scared.
I'm not. That's not even the case. I'm gonna remove that. Oh, sorry.
Putin's laughing.
What are you gonna do, hall monitor?
Yo, let me read this out. So he is saying that basically venture capitalists are already texting him because he's in that Stanford crypto club. And then the best part is after he's talking about his son being in the Stanford crypto club or being the main lead, he's like, I gotta clean that stuff. My stuff cost me $600 a month. Disabled vest status to keep me stoned. These are the best comments from Slow Money Green, dude. He's awesome. Fallen Potato.
Wow.
We have a new
You guys are
person.
right.
We got a new person.
El Salvador is getting pushed around. Like I just saw a headline. IMF board. So the IMF urged El Salvador to strip Bitcoin of its status as legal tender, citing risks of financial stability, integrity, and consumer protection.
Integrity, aka more corruption.
Yeah, seriously.
That's all it is.
I don't think Russia and China want to go to war. So we got a good comment. They're talking still about the war. I think it's bad for everyone's business because everyone like Russia sells oil to the West. So it's like it's not good for business and it's not good for China. So I think this is all just posturing. I think people are just freaking out for no reason. The rich people don't want to go to war. They're making way more money. They're just using this to scare like the rich people just don't want the poor people to revolt against them. So they want you to be afraid of China and Russia.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just know that there's a buildup in troops.
Did Joe Biden write those letters with crayons, or did he finger paint them?
So apparently he got really like ticked off when someone asked about inflation being, and then he was like, "Yeah, inflation's a great
A Fox reporter.
SOB."
Yeah.
I do think MJ messes with your productivity, and the only time I'm productive is when I do MJ at the end of the night. Because like I actually had a...
productive is when I do MJ at the end of the night.
Is that Fallen Potato? Okay, yeah, he's muted it. But yeah, I actually had, believe it or not, a 3.9 G. Fallen Potato, you gotta fix that.
Yeah, I actually had, believe it or not, 3.9.
Ooh, there's another. Go.
I fixed it. Yeah, they made it really easy to drop people. It broke. I broke it. No worries. Just come back on when you fix your mic.
Was someone joining us from a different platform?
No, it's Fallen Potato. You guys don't see his comments? He's got 4,000 followers. He does, I think, more stuff on like motorcycles, but he knows, like, he's actually pretty knowledgeable. Yeah, see here, this is another good comment. Russia sells oil to Germany, and then they're the ones that are quiet. Like, they're not going to go to war. They all make money off of each other.
I believe it's gas. And they stopped selling it.
They're hoarding their gas for war.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of smart, right? Like, I wouldn't. Yeah, it makes sense.
Let's go. That should be better, hopefully.
Introduce yourself so you can meet, because I think this is your first live stream with them.
Yeah, with Party Finance, I think. I've been with Nerd Finance, I think, but yeah. I mainly just dabble in real estate, but kind of been getting into stocks and sort of crypto, but not much crypto. I'm kind of like scared of all that junk.
But you gotta tell me your story because I have you on my YouTube live. I wish I could redo my YouTube live. Actually, I kind of want to redo your story on my YouTube live. But just tell them how you went from like being in trouble with the law to like basically owning a ton of real estate. Your story is amazing.
Being in trouble? No, hopefully not. No, but no, I went from well, first I went to college, I guess, but I never really completed it. So I went to college and then decided that a trailer park would be a good idea.
Nice.
And so I bought that, and then I dropped out after 2 years of college, and then I dealt with the trailer parks and some of the rental houses I accumulated over the years, and now I'm at where I'm at now. I sold a few things, and now I'm doing pretty well.
But yeah, I mixed you up with someone else. There was another person that was basically a criminal. Like he went to prison and then he got into mobile home parks. So I mixed you up with someone else. There's another creator that I talked to, which was crazy because he was in jail and then he came out of jail. He worked odd jobs, but then was able to qualify for a trailer park or something like that. And then he scaled it and got multiple properties. It's also an interesting story.
Yeah, they're not bad to get into, but they're it's just a lot of headache, and you see a lot of stuff, so it's pretty funny. But on the legal side, I've been on the up and up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've done Airbnb, so I've also had some pretty crazy experiences. I might as well tell you guys. So I actually had someone drop off a mental patient at one of my Airbnbs, and he had just gotten into a car accident, so his memory was shot, and he was literally going crazy. It was really bad.
Dang.
Yeah, but Airbnb was cool. They actually terminated his stay, and he had booked a 2-week stay. They let me keep his entire 2-week stay. So in the way you get in trouble, it's I was renting rooms in Airbnb. He went into another guest's room. So it's kind of shady because I was thinking about it, that they didn't really do any investigation. So if a landlord doesn't like you on Airbnb, they can just call Airbnb and say you went into someone else's room, and then you get kicked out and they keep your stay. Because they really don't investigate. That's the problem.
Well, they didn't investigate because the guy didn't complain, probably, right?
No, I don't know. I think it's the thing with Airbnb, what people don't realize, and that's why I don't like using Airbnb all the time, it's arbitrary because they just hire you to an account specialist, and it's whatever they feel like. So if they like the other side, you'll get a ruling against you. It's kind of like a toss-up. Sometimes you get people that are cool with hosts, and then you get other people that are cool with guests, and they always want to protect the guests. So it's like the Wild West. You don't know what you're gonna get. Now this was done back in the heyday of Airbnb, 2015 to 2017, 18, 19. So maybe it's gotten better.
Hey, are you still trying to get into the mobile park game?
Yes. And that's why I want to keep talking to Fallen Potato, because I love Tennessee. I think Tennessee is a great market. I would love to get into the mobile.
Dude, everything there's cheap. Good cash flow yield, good rental yield.
Low property tax, and it's growing, right? It's one of the fastest growing economies out there, and it's central of America.
It's growing like crazy right now. I live in a smaller city about maybe about an hour south of Nashville, but everyone from Nashville and everyone from California is buying up everything in the small city, and it's quadrupling and 5 timesing all the prices of the houses around here.
Bingo.
And then the rent price is way up too. I usually try to stay low on the rent because I bought the properties for so cheap. So I'm actually a decent guy. But otherwise, I'd be going on my rents right now because I rent out stuff from anywhere between $600 to $1,000 a month. And for those same properties, people are charging at least $1,000 for everything.
So I'm refinancing a couple properties, and the refinance people, they were looking at their rent roll, and he was like, "You're undercharging because the appreciation on the house is way more than what I'm charging rent." And he was like, "Yeah, you need to raise rent if you want to get this refi." So all right.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I have a friend of mine that has a bunch of Airbnbs in Costa Mesa, and he rented his master bedroom for $2,000 a month in California.
Oh my God.
$2,000 a month for a bedroom in a 6-bedroom house. You got 6 other roommates, and you're paying $2,000 for a master bedroom.
I thought about doing Airbnb because my house has 2 houses on the property, so I could just rent out the second house, but it shares the same driveway. So I didn't know if that was gonna be too much of a headache to deal with all that Airbnb crap or not. But I don't know. It's something I was looking into, but I'm not too sure about it.
The thing with Airbnb is that you're gonna get crappy people, but you're going to get good people. And the way it's the hack is you just need a couple of good hosts or probably guests. And a lot of them, they come back and they do repeat business, and then you can get completely off the site. That was the one good thing is I did it for a while, and then I literally had really good guests, And remember, like Airbnb takes a cut and everything. It's like you would just go and do your deals direct with the guests, and it's like someone that's doing business with you for like a year and a half, so you know they're always good with the money, and like those are the best clients, and you make a ton.
Yeah, and also there's a big ass music or sort of big music festival here near the area that does Monero, and that brings in like a few 100,000 people every year. And so like that'd be a good idea for Airbnb and just rent out like the whole house to like freaking 10 other people or 12 other people or whatever and just make a killing on it.
Yeah.
But that'd only be seasonal, yes?
That would only be seasonal for that, but you can probably make quite a bit of money. And
You want
really
business.
short term because, like,
If
there's no
you
hotels, like they're all booked every time that the festival happens.
the problem with seasonal people, it's like you're right, they only come in the summer or certain times, but the ones I got were business. If you have people that like, hey, they're in this area of the state and they come like once a month or like twice a week, twice a month for business, that's the best because they're literally like a normal tenant, but you get to charge them like a lot more. And then a lot of the times you can just leave the place empty and you get the same amount of money. And like you have an empty place that you can use or whatever.
Yeah, and there's some things like that. Like there's like a Air Force base out here that engineers come down to, so it might be good for that too. But it'd probably be few and far between where I'm at. But I could possibly do something like that as well if I really wanted to.
I mean, if it keeps growing in the future, it might be like different because like, I mean, there's a lot of areas that were like Vegas was completely dead if you go back like 40, 50 years ago. And now like there's 2-3 million people that live in Vegas. So things change over time.
This small town is stupid right now. Like everyone's flocking over here. People are buying land. People are buying houses for 5 times what I paid for them like a couple years ago.
And I don't think that trend is going to go away unless we get rid of immigration. Like the only way real estate crashes is like if we become like Japan and we make immigration so tough that then the real estate will crash.
I don't see that happening though, really.
Because like our generation's not having kids, so we already have like a negative birth rate. We're like China, we're like Japan, and the only reason our economy hasn't gone off a cliff is because like we just keep getting immigrants, and we take the best ones usually. Like most of them are like really good immigrants. I mean, we obviously get the illegals as well, but the ones that we do let in are like really gangster.
Usually, immigrants and people like that, they usually pay their bills very well. So
No
I don't
tenant.
have any issues with them at all.
Yeah, no tenant. I've never had like I've rented now in my lifetime to maybe 3,000 people. No immigrant, even if they're naturalized or whatever, has ever given me problems with rent. The only time people try to squat and try to not pay me money are citizens. So like literally one of the easiest hacks is just like immigrants don't want to mess around with getting deported. So rent to immigrants and like you're chilling.
They don't want to get any trouble or put anything else over their head.
And they won't use the law against you. Because the problem in California, the laws are very renter friendly. So as soon as I know, this is like a landlord hack, but like if I know they're smart about the law, dude, I just pay them to leave. Like people find that crazy, but in California, because the court system is so messed up and so costly, if they're smart and they know what they're doing, I just immediately buy them out. And it sounds crazy to pay tenants to leave, but you'll end up spending so much money in legal fees. And like if the rent is $2,000 a month, like they might stay in that unit for 6 months and you just lose $8,000, So like literally rent to immigrants, and if they're
I can just self-represent myself and I can get them out for like maybe a couple $100 and probably maybe a month or two and they're out.
Texas too. That's why we did rentals in Texas. It was like so nice because like in Texas you could do evictions in like 28 days. But here's the deal: if you're really good at picking tenants, it rarely happens. And even the 28 days, if you're smart, like you just give them money and they leave immediately, and it's usually better than letting them squat for 28 days until you get them out.
Yeah, for sure.
Drive a crappy car. If you drive a crappy car, go ahead.
In my contract, my renters, I have a thing, like if I sell the house, they have 30 days to get out. So like if I don't like them and they're like giving me a hard time, I'm just like, all right, I'm selling the property, and they have to.
Yeah, I need to do that.
There's a lot of clauses like you can do for like 30 days. If you give them 30 days notice, they have to leave pretty much, or like non-payment of rent. Sometimes you can do it for 2 weeks here.
Yeah.
No, that clause is really smart. I need to add that to the sale clause, and then they don't get upset. The thing is, if you're saying I'm kicking you out to rent to other people, they get mad. But if you're like, hey, I'm selling the place, they don't get as upset and
People are around here are sure going to mix that for any reason because they can't find another place. Because like if they leave their place and they're paying like $600 or something like that, and then they have to go find a place that's like $1,200. I mean, they're just all around. I mean, it sucks, but I mean, it's just what it is. The housing market's going up, the rent's going up. So.
Are they building? Because we have that problem in California. They passed rules to make building like super expensive. Like we force people to put solar panels on their roof. So it's like you're just making it.
No, they're building up gas all over the place down here right now. Like people are buying land and just subdividing it like crazy for building lots. They're buying out whole farms and stuff and subdividing all the land, which kind of sucks. But I mean, it is what it is.
We should do that. That's something, me, Nerd Finance, and Party of Finance. We should do that. Don't give your money to other people. If you give your money to other people, they always take like way too much in management fees.
I'm trying to get into developments this year. That's what I'm looking for.
But in Texas, right?
By yourself, like without who are you gonna reach out to like build stuff?
You could hire people.
Dude, I know so many people. Mexico's right below me. Jesus.
You guys are all laughing, but I drive to the border of Mexico and I go to Mexico Home Depot because you can literally buy appliances and materials and it's like you can return it at the American Home Depot and get your money back, but it's Mexican prices. It's the best hack in the world. So yeah, I literally go and buy all this crap at Home Depot in Mexico. I come back and like obviously I don't use everything, and then I go to the American Home Depot and I'm able to get a refund. Same with Costco. I bought stuff in Australia.
I think like it's reality here. Like in Houston, like you can get pretty good contractors pretty quick.
So I bought stuff in Australia, like snorkels and like all this like touristy stuff in Australia. And I brought it back and I decided I didn't want it and I returned it at American Costco and I got it back. Like I even bought my bag got stolen in Australia. Someone broke in. So I had to go to Costco and buy like new like suitcase and luggage. And then I returned it at American Costco, got my money back.
And that's also another problem in Tennessee right now. Like it's hard to find good builders around here. So like if you know how to build houses and you have the money to just make sub-developments, you're gonna make a shit ton of money around here right now. Like if you have the people, like Tennessee is pretty damn good right now.
Yo, I might actually do business with him. This guy says he's doing a trade in Tijuana, Mexico. Dude, if you can get me real estate stuff, I will be a client. Because the prices in Mexico are so much better.
Give me a place on the beach where I can have like a boat access in and out, and I'll probably buy it.
Like a 007 villain party.
I'll put my RV, my quad, my truck, down there.
You can get really nice ones under $1 million in Mexico, like is Pablo Escobar houses with an ocean view for under $1 million.
See, the only thing I have a concern on is like safety. Like I would have to have my PPs with me. Like I have to get them in Mexico.
Well, security's cheap. Like you can actually be like a James Bond villain. You can hire security, and they have like assault rifles and stuff, and like it's not expensive in Mexico. So you can hire security and like have like guards at your house.
It kind of reminds me of McAfee, right?
That's me. Like I've done business with McAfee in like 2013.
It's cool. Did he off himself?
No.
How does the government get away with that? And what also bothers me is why do people get pissed at like Snowden and stuff? Because it's like, oh, he's like,
What also bothers me is why do people?
You guys hear that? Because like people are like, oh, Snowden's a traitor, blah blah blah. But it's like, wait a minute, he caught the American government breaking the Constitution. Like it says in the Constitution, you're not supposed to do this. And he caught them breaking the rules of the Constitution. Like, don't you want your government to follow the Constitution or no?
All governments are corrupt. No one follows about the guidelines.
But like they say they're not patriots. It's like, wait a minute. I thought a patriot is someone that wants the Constitution and wants the U.S. government to follow the Constitution. So why are you getting mad at whistleblowers? Like, how are they traitors? Like, if the U.S. wasn't breaking the Constitution, then like, okay, I understand. But like, you need whistleblowers or like they won't follow the Constitution. Like, I thought that's what a patriot is. I thought like, you know, the Germans all feel bad because they didn't use their minds and they just listened to the Nazi party. Like, you don't want America to turn into that. Like, you got to use your mind and like, you know, when we break laws, we're bad. You can't just always be the good guy.
Yo, good submarine for sure.
Yo, it was kind of weird. I remember when there was like a lot of like those Asian hate videos that were coming up, and they were like, "Oh, this is turning into blah blah blah." They made the comparison to Germany, and I was like, "Yo, you guys are crazy. It's nowhere close to that."
I'm just always afraid of a government having too much power. Like I hope there's like I feel like Democrats and Republicans, even though like there's like the crazy right and the crazy left, I feel like all of them like kind of want limited government because they're worried that if the government gets too powerful, you can't do anything anymore, you know, and then it becomes authoritarian like Russia or China.
Unlimited power. I actually like centralized government. I'm a big fan.
Dude, China built that hospital in like what, 4 days, a week tops, a massive hospital.
So you would give up your
Get
freedom?
a lot of stuff done. Could be for good, could be for bad, though.
Yeah, do you want to give up your freedom of being able to criticize the government so a hospital can be built faster?
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with giving up those rights.
Wait, he was a hero until he landed in Moscow? Yeah, but no matter what, I don't care. Like, he had to sacrifice his life to make everyone realize that like we shouldn't be, like, the American military should not be spying on American citizens without our knowledge. And this is why I hate our representatives. Like, we need a direct democracy because our representatives, they become basically autocrats and they just want to have power and then they don't want to disclose what they're doing.
The government isn't watching you. There's a hack group watching you on their computers.
I'm okay with autocrats as long as they're technocrats.
Okay, fine. Elon Musk can rule the world.
Oh my gosh, I don't know about that, but that's a funny thought. That actually makes me think twice.
Also, what about this argument? Because I'm pro-government, but I want higher paid government officials. Like, I want less government officials, but higher paid.
Nah, forget that, dude. UBI
means more tax money.
Overpaying people.
No,
Yeah.
no. Like, let's say we were. Hold on.
You,
You said more tax money. I said no. Let's just say there's right now 1 million employees. So why don't we just cut it to 500,000 and double everyone's pay? And they have to use technology and they have to be more efficient. And we can't just have a bunch of like, you know, people that, you know, because I can understand having.
You're not gonna get more better workers just because you pay more in government.
You're gonna get lazy workers.
But like, imagine the DMV now becomes digital. It's like all internet based. Isn't that better?
Dude, I know a bunch of people who work for like my city and stuff, and they do nothing. They literally just log in and put a paper.
Dude, there's people on TikTok.
And do nothing.
There's people on TikTok that live stream with me that are like, yeah, I was with this government, now I'm with this government. And all I do is like live stream on TikTok and make like a 60K and get like a pension.
Yeah, like it's a joke.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, imagine if we made it more elite, because like if you basically do that thing, it's like if you give less employees but they're paid more, they're forced to use technology to like automate processes and make it more efficient.
Dude, I know one guy working for my county, and he literally he just goes to outsources everything. All his projects he gets on Fiverr, like which I'm pretty sure is highly illegal for like outsourcing government work.
I believe it.
But it's just so funny.
In my opinion, they just need to privatize everything because they overpay people too much, and then they can just fix things by taxing people and give UBI to everyone. Why are we selecting a few people to receive money? A few government employees to receive money? Of like a set amount of the population, like the old people for Social Security, the sick people for Medicare. That's not fair. That's not right. Give money to all. Money for me.
And then you get rid of all the bureaucrats. Yeah, but then you get rid of all the bureaucrats. It's actually a better way of doing it. Like literally just give everyone a set amount and then like you don't have bureaucrats telling you, you qualify for this or you qualify for that, you know?
No, UBI for all, man. No more picking and choosing. All right? I deserve money too.
But it's going to help the economy. It's going to help the economy. And like, if we're going to print billions of dollars, like why give it to like corporations to buy back stock? Give it to consumers to spend money. But at the end of the day, you have no power unless you have money. Like basically, you got to be like a billionaire, and you got to have a super PAC if you really want a political, if you want political power.
I got a cousin who became mayor of like a big city in the Philippines, and he got super rich. He now hosts like massive parties.
Yeah, because government officials, they do that. Like everyone gets super rich. Look at Obama. Obama got super rich after his presidency. Clinton was like a nobody, and now he's like worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
How did he get away with hanging out with Epstein? That's so crazy that he's not gonna get any crimes against him because he was doing kinky stuff with Epstein, but he just gets away with it because he's Bill Clinton. We all love Bill Clinton.
What do you mean? They killed all the witnesses.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy that guy committed suicide. That's crazy.
No, that's what they say.
I'm just surprised.
I'm being sarcastic. They killed him.
Why couldn't they get
literally
Snowden?
killed him.
Why is Snowden and Julian
I
Assange?
honestly feel like they had him in a little cave somewhere.
But like, why have they killed those guys? Like Julian Assange and Snowden. Like, come on, don't you have James Bond? Like, have James Bond assassinate him. MI6.
So I think there was like a document, like they wanted, the U.S. government had a hit out on him, basically. Like he had a green light to get executed, but somehow he just never went through.
Okay. All right, did we cover everything? This live stream has been going forever. We're just waiting for the Fed meeting, right? There's nothing to talk about other than what is the Fed? It's like Groundhog's Day. Is the groundhog going to come out and poke his head, or is he going to go back down and run away from his shadow?
DraftKings up 13%, almost 14%.
Wait, what?
DraftKings is up 14% today.
Oh my god, I completely sold out. I'm out. I should have bought the
I mean,
dip.
you sold at a good time. It's $21. It's still lower, but it's a lot. It's up 14%.
Yeah. Dude, I bought the index. I'm so happy. I'm going to become more of an index investor. Screw individual stocks. I'm going all in on Vanguard.
What percentage of your net worth is index?
Not enough. Like
100%.
less than 10%.
I am, let me see, I actually have it. 50% index.
DraftKings is going to be up 50%. DraftKings is going to be up because of the midterms.
Couple banks, yeah.
I sold a lot of my bank stock too, just to pay down margin debt.
Also, Morgan Stanley raised the price target for DraftKings.
What's Amazon? I wish I bought more Amazon.
Amazon is, let's see.
They barely fell, right? I know because I looked at them. Because I
28, 26.
Okay, I'm going to buy Amazon today. I still think Amazon's undervalued.
Expensive, dude.
No, man, they're going to control the world, dude. In 10 years, it's going to be Bitcoin and Amazon.
I'm sure they said the same thing about Sears. Where are they now? Dead. Dead. Retailers die.
I'll pay government workers more if they just stay on vacation. Dude, Slow Money has some of the best comments. Caesar's up too. Yeah, hey, MGM guys, that's the stock you want to buy. MGM is way better than DraftKings. MGM, trust me.
False. Do not buy casino stocks. They are worthless.
Why?
Or they underperform. They underperform.
So just buy the index?
Over casino stocks? Absolutely.
Yep, that's
Casino
what I'm
stocks
going to
are garbage, yo.
Buy Etsy.
do. Why not Amazon? Isn't Amazon...
Really good appreciation, right? Etsy. What's the other one? The one from Canada. I can't remember it.
I'm not sure about that one.
What's that? You guys know what it is. You make shops out of it. Oh my God, what's this Canadian company? Canadian Amazon. Canadian Amazon. I think if I type Canadian Amazon, no, I get Amazon Canada. It's the largest companies in Canada. Let's do that.
Shopify.
Largest companies.
Is it Shopify?
Huh?
Shopify?
Yeah. Bingo. And
They're Canadian. I did not know that.
Shopify is a beast. I want it, but it's so expensive. I cannot, in good conscience, do anything about it.
Just buy the index, dude. You're gonna own Shopify and Amazon. Buy the index. You don't have to do anything.
Oh, Shopify got really cheap, but I don't know, not cheap. Oh, relatively cheap. Oh, we make moves. Dang.
Is there any other stocks you guys are watching? I like Amazon and Facebook. Is that weird?
Let me pray to the Viking gods to make the market crash again. Make them cheap. Make them cheap. Cheaper. I'm praying to my ancestors.
Buy the index. This is my pick. Buy the index. So buy S&P 500. Buy Vanguard Healthcare, because healthcare is going to go to the moon. And then just buy Amazon and Facebook, and you're done.
Oh my gosh, guys! How do I miss these things?
What's Google, by the way?
I don't want.
What's
I don't want
Google?
this crap.
What's Google's price?
They're only starting to be profitable.
Which Google? They have like 2 stocks.
Just pick one. What's Google's price right now? They're usually trade around the same. GOOG. Goog.
I don't know what.
26, 29.
What do you think of that, Nerd Finance? Do you think Google's a buy at 2,600? The PE is pretty low for Google, and it's just going to grow with Google QB.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Long term, this is a great find.
Google needs to replace also internet. Like, what if Google Fi actually becomes like a viable option? Like, I'm never going to like use anyone else. I would go to Google Fi for everything. My phone, my internet, everything.
Fi, they announced that like 13 years ago, and they still haven't done anything. Like in 13 years, whatever, like they've done nothing.
Probably it's all in San Francisco. You just don't live in San Francisco.
Yeah, but that's like, if you're doing internet, you can't just be in one city. You gotta be everywhere.
No, it uses other people's broadbands too. So when you go, like, you'll probably be using the 5G network, you know, yeah.
Like a mesh network type.
I think it's Verizon. They borrow like Verizon's network. Oh, here we go. This is interesting. He has Google Fi phone service. How is it? Can you use your phone to replace your internet at home, or is it not choppy? Too choppy?
I feel like they piggyback off like Verizon or AT&T.
By the way, did anyone get destroyed by margin? I mean, I basically had a panic sell. I had about 300 grand of margin debt, and I had to offload 100 grand.
I won 200 grand to keep my margin in.
I'm just glad I didn't meet Kevin. Kevin completely sold out. I knew that there was going to be bounces. I was like, I'm not going to completely sell out. Plus, I rebalanced my portfolio to hold more index. Like, I really shouldn't be holding individual stocks. It's too much work. Wow, $20?
The thing is, what people should do is they first should index. And then once they have like a strong amount of index portfolio, then you can branch out buying one stock or two because you're already diversified. You know? That's the key thing.
And the dividend, what people don't...
They start stock picking when they have nothing. It's like, yo, you don't have a portfolio. You're spending all this time researching this company and you're only dropping what, $1,000? Nothing. Let's say it goes up 10%, you make $100. Is that worth the time you spent studying the company? No.
And also the dividend game. So when you buy the index, because a lot of growth companies don't have any dividends, which is like whatever. But by buying the index, you get the dividend companies. So even when there's down years, you're still collecting, some sort of passive income. but you get the upside of the growth stocks since it's diversified.
After thinking much about it, I don't really like Shopify. It's too young.
What about Google?
I don't like it.
What about
Google?
Facebook?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it in a while, but
Look at it. Look at it right now. Come on, do some research. Look at Google.
No, thank you. I have work to do.
Okay. What are they making you look at? Small companies?
No. Stuff that we own, macro stuff, macro information, that kind of thing.
Could you hire someone from the Philippines to do your work? Be
I
honest.
absolutely can.
So why don't you? Why are you not doing that? Fiverr. It's gonna make you.
I enjoy reading. I enjoy what I do.
Yeah, but if you want to run a business in the future, you got to learn how to hire people now. I mean, what's the point of getting an MBA if you're not trying to run a
I
business?
imagine that if I didn't have to do this for work, that I would be doing it anyway.
That's true.
Does that make sense?
No, that's true. What's Rivian doing? Does anyone want to talk about Rivian? What's the price?
What's the ticker? RVN?
Yeah.
No, that's not the ticker. RIVN. There you go. Damn, down $61. Ouch. It looks like it could have a bounce from here on the weekly. I would consider picking up a little bit and like
Yo, have you guys
sell
seen-
target.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm
Rivian, that's the electric stock, right?
yeah, the car company.
Yeah, electric car company. Sorry, EV.
You know, they got the car designs off some random dude on the internet. Like they just paid for like some like $6.99 blueprint of an EV, and they use that as like their EV.
Wait, which is I thought these guys came from Tesla. Am I mistaken here? Or I thought I saw something about a documentary on this. I don't know.
No, this is a company that basically like they promised all these crazy things, but like they had zero, like literally zero to put out, and like now there's like a bunch of fraud going on, and there's basically a mass like Ponzi, like a really giant Ponzi.
I checked it. It's not Rivian. It's Lucid. Lucid,
Yeah. Lucid's good.
I apologize.
Hey, Kevin drove it. He has one. Meet Kevin has one. Do you think Lucid's a buy?
Of course, is he selling?
Do you think Lucid's a buy? Didn't Lucid get crushed? You could probably pick it up on the cheap right now. Maybe I should pick up some Lucid. Because it has a 500-mile battery. Like, that's like the biggest thing with like electric cars. You need to have the large battery.
I don't buy
have
money
my
losing
order for
companies.
Lucid at 32. I'm $2 away from my Lucid buy order, but I like it.
Lucid went up a lot then if it's at 32. I remember when it was under
It came
20
down.
bucks.
It went to 60.
Yeah.
Do you guys typically eat breakfast? Like, I'm surprised none of you guys are.
No, I honestly like I forget to eat, and then like I start having headaches and stuff. I'm like, oh crap, I have to eat. Like I hate eating.
It's 9:40 where you are, yes, or 10:40.
10:40. I still haven't eaten anything.
I knew it. Texas.
Yeah.
Does Texas only have one time zone, or is it multiple time zones? Because it's big, right? It's wide.
I believe it's central to all of Texas.
Interesting.
Yeah, I believe it's just one time zone.
Interesting.
I'm still in Central over here too in Tennessee. Yeah, it goes to Eastern, like out past Chattanooga.
Did you guys hear the news on electric pickups? Ford got rid of their like wait list. They got rid of the wait list. So many people want the car.
Oh my gosh.
Wait.
You can't
They
even
got
get
rid
the
of wait
cars.
list. That means they don't have much of a demand, right?
No, that's the thing. They had a wait list. It's full. They you can't even get a car for now. They're already sold out.
Okay, I got you.
Oh, nice. Rivian CEO lives in your town. That's cool. Yeah. Thank you for coming on YouTube, guys. YouTube people get priority over TikTok because YouTube is at least monetized. I actually get paid on YouTube. I need to get you guys on YouTube somehow.
Oh shoot. Oh, I got a trade. Trade.
So the Ford waitlist is for their electric truck. What is it called? I forgot the name. I made a TikTok on it. So if you guys go look on my TikTok, I have an article about it.
Wasn't it like the Lightning or something?
Yeah, but it's something different. It's Lightning, and then there's a name for it. I forgot the name. I'll look it up and I'll let you guys know.
Stalker 1, 2, 3, 4.
Our live stream picked up. We got almost 20 people now. If you guys want, come to YouTube. Go to my YouTube live stream. It's better. I can say whatever I want, and I can medicate on that. Get my medicine. I actually like that name, Stalker 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. It's a good username.
Let's talk more real estate, though. Do you think the real estate market is coming down?
Pretty good.
So do you guys think the real estate market is finally going to cool down? They said prices are coming down in some areas.
I mean, they're like slowing down, but like prices are still up.
What if the Fed raises interest rates and now like a mortgage? I looked on Wells Fargo. The mortgage rates are now above 3%. So now it's a lot more expensive to borrow to get the same prices.
I mean, the interest rates go up a bit, then it'll probably slow it down a hair, but they'd have to like drastically change at this point.
If someone has the internet, can you right now Google Wells Fargo mortgage rates? Because they'll say what their home rate is right now. And I know for a fact it's above 3%. I just want to see what the rate is. But it used to be like 2.75. So it's like now the cost of borrowing, like it's going up significantly. But you know what's funny? The rate is lower now on jumbo. Isn't that crazy? So if you do like a bigger loan, you get a lower interest rate. It used to be the other way around. It means rich people are getting hooked up if they pay less on their luxury homes. Party Finance, can you look up the mortgage rate really quick on Wells Fargo?
3.25. 3.25 as of March.
So don't you think the market will crash if it goes to like 3.5 or 4%? If people have to pay 4% to borrow when you could have got a loan for 2.5, like that's a huge, like your monthly payment is like getting close to doubling the interest.
I just signed a 30-year mortgage for 5.2%. What? It's a portfolio loan.
That's like, I don't know, I get like 4.8, I think, on my investment loans. But I usually go for 15 year.
I might do a refinance like that.
Sorry, yeah, 15 years. Sorry, not 30.
Is it fixed? Is it interest only? What are the terms on that portfolio loan? What are the terms?
So I can't sell any of my properties for 5 years, and if I do, I have to like prepay a certain amount. Yeah, the terms aren't too bad. It's just like I have to keep the investment properties, make sure everything's good, and then back to my banker.
I refinanced like all my stuff in like 21, I think. I like probably near the end of it, and then I sold everything basically by the end of 2021. So like he did all that work for me, and I like closed out like most of those loans.
That sucks for them.
But like, yeah, I mean,
You should keep those. Like the thing is, when you buy a property, you should just refinance and keep it for life. You know,
I mean,
you keep refinancing.
No, I mean, I bought them and then I sold out some properties and paid off a lot of debt. I went from like $700,000 borrowed to like $50,000.
I gotcha.
that's really good.
Oh, you just de-risked. That's the whole game plan. But
Yeah.
you don't have risk. You could have kept it all, I think.
And I could talk about. I was like, nah, I don't like having the presence of the bank watching over me and having any kind of, I don't know. I just don't want to like close out loans for any kind of reason. I just want to own the properties myself. I'm just weird about that.
That's how
Did
I
you have
was.
to
I owned
pay-
all my equity.
Did you have to pay a lot of capital gains tax? Or
No,
He's gonna find out this year. He's gonna find out this year.
you're gonna find out this year. It's gonna be a lot.
No, I mean my CPA should work it down pretty good for me, but we'll see.
Well, no. If you had a good CPA, they would have minimized your taxes when you were earning rent. Then the minute you sold it, you're gonna see a tax bill. If you had a good CPA, that is.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of deductions and stuff. It shouldn't be too bad on me, but we'll see. It doesn't matter too much.
Gotta reset up my studio because my phone's on low battery. All right.
Dude, my stomach's in low battery. I need to eat.
All right, hold on. I'll be right back, guys.
But you said you're from Texas, right? Party Finance?
Yeah, I'm in Houston.
Remember who Mark Humphreys was, or no?
No.
Like an architect down there, like built a bunch of I think it was stuff like he built like 90% of them.
Oh wow.
Like the whole country, but he passed away like this year, which sucks because I was wanting to talk to him again because he had a shitload of experience and all that kind of stuff. But apparently his office was out of Texas, and I just didn't know if you ever heard of Humphreys Architect or whatever his business is called. I don't even know.
No, it does sound familiar, but I don't think I've heard of it.
Yeah. I didn't know him too much. I didn't really talk to him much, but we sold him some horses because that's what my girlfriend does. She like buys and sells horses and runs like a farm pretty much. But sold him some horses.
I have a buddy. His wife loves horses, and like he just complains about like all the bills attached to owning a horse.
No, it's a lot. It sucks for sure. Like,
yeah, he's like, you think stock market, real estate crashing is anything? I own a horse.
That's 100% true. Like, my girlfriend, she bought like 40 acres and built a barn.
Wow.
She boards out there, but her board basically just pays for her upkeep and stuff and her horses and the mortgage on the property, and that's about it. So it doesn't really profit, but it pays for habits.
Yeah.
That is an expensive habit. My goodness.
Oh yeah.
Got like 4 horses and like performance horses, and it's
Just give her a switch. Maybe that'll downgrade the expenses.
What's crazy is I'm charging my phone, but I'm getting a negative charge, I guess, because I went from 5% to 2%. So if I die, I have to rehost on my other phone.
Maybe you have a broken charger.
It's supposed to be a fast charger, though. When I'm not streaming on TikTok, it fast charges. Well, anyways, it's stuck at 2%. Let's see if it dies. If it dies, I'll just have to switch phones.
Maybe it'll hang on.
Yeah, it's barely alive. I put down the what's it called? I dimmed it too. Maybe the lighting was too high.
No, but I was talking to Mark Humphreys' guy and his wife, and like I told her like what I was doing with like selling some properties and stuff and paying off debt, and she looked at me like I was an idiot. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not to your level yet. I don't even know.
It depends on inflation. If inflation goes down, you're smart. If inflation goes up, you're making a big mistake.
Well, I mean, they have some
rarely happens. Rarely. You can look at the historical data that stretches like 150 years. Deflation almost never happens.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. They had so much money. They were probably borrowing it for like nothing, probably like 2% or something. So they probably just had free money, and they were just making these multi-million-dollar deals like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Basically free money, so it's like you can't really complain. So, like I was getting rates at like 5.5% at the time. I was like, nah. I mean, if I could get 2% or 3% or something low, then yeah, sure, free money all day long, and I'll loan out like $2 million. But
By the way, I'm so happy to have you on here, Fallen Potato. Because if you think about it, now that it's you and Nerd Finance, we're actually talking about real estate. It's not just a bunch of crap coins and NFTs. Like, this discussion is so much better. Like, I actually feel like my brain is expanding.
yeah,
but anyway, the rich developer guy told me that his biggest mistake was that he sold properties, that he flipped them. He should have just kept him for life. But then again, he was a developer in California. He's dead already. He's dead.
Like this architect, he designed, I think it was like 90% of all campus apartments and like almost all apartments in the U.S. I was like, holy crap, I didn't realize how much he actually did.
Yeah, during the 1970s was when they developed a lot of the stuff that's here. So yeah, he was a developer during the 1970s, the heyday of California. When California was strong and big.
On that time, and then he just developed the hell out of it, and then moved it to get away from everything. I guess as a vacation, he had like a modest house. It's like a $2 million house in Nashville, and then he had like a weird wedding venue place he was building for no reason. I don't know why, but that's why we sold him the horses basically to be pasture ornaments.
Nice.
like $10,000 a horse, I think, and it was just sitting out in a pasture. I was like, what the hell? But they would actually pay us like $5,000 in the wintertime just to watch them for like 3 or 4 months because they don't have any like grass up there for them to eat. So like, we would take their horses down for like 3 months and get $5,000. I wish I could talk to him more and figure out how he developed all this stuff so crazy. And he still has a lot of trucks and stuff in Nashville that are sky high right now. They probably made several millions on. But fuck it.
Wait, so what are you doing? So you don't carry any debt. You don't plan on taking on debt. So you're just sitting in cash flowing. Is that what it is?
I'm just cash flowing right now, but I mean, I'm not opposed to getting more debt. It's just the market's so crazy around here. I'm not going to buy anything here. But yeah, I mean, if the market crashes, like if the interest rates go up anymore, like they were saying, like if it goes down, once it finally settles down, I'll start buying more and start building some new points.
No, so let's say prices do come down because they raise rates. You have to borrow at a higher rate, so it's still painful, right?
Well, I mean, I have several lenders, like people that I can go to, and they're not going to really screw me. They're going to give me a pretty decent rate regardless.
Party, what are you doing with your money?
Can I tell you about the Chinese bank?
I'm trying to get into a development, like buy a bunch. I'm like basically stacking like 5 million and trying to get into like land development this year.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
But how are you going to get 5 million? Aren't you worth just that much?
As of today, it's like 6 to 8.
All of your net worth, dude.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, there's a lot of people that want to invest with me. So like, if I'm doing real estate,
gotcha.
like
You're
I'm
always
gonna tell, like,
OPM.
yeah, I mean, I hate doing that, but I mean, hey, it makes me more money, so why not?
I gotcha.
I think like 90% of my net worth is invested in real estate, so fuck it, go big or go home.
This party finance still bearish on Bitcoin. So my Bitcoin targets right now are 39K to 44 is where I'm selling. And I think we're going to come back down. But we'll see.
Ex Machina.
The development's huge, especially in Tennessee right now. It's just crazy. And it's probably huge everywhere, but...
Because like the developments I'm seeing, like within 3 years, I could like triple my initial investment.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Developments are, I know, I've seen the returns on the, like, I look at the real estate private equity deals that they post, and they do make a lot of money. I just don't like it. There's a lot of risk, right? I don't like the risk portion.
A lot of risk because like I know a bunch of them will go bankrupt.
Well, no, they don't go bankrupt until the end of the cycle, which we're very close to. So it's like, I don't know. But the thing is, all right, to be fair, I always thought a lot of them are going to go bankrupt, and I've been wrong for like half a decade, if not more. Like I've been wrong since 2016. I remember because one of my close friends, who's also the councilman of the city I live in, he became a developer. And he was developing, and I tried to discourage him, telling him how crappy investment performance was for developers in general. but this is looking at data during 2008, 2009, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm going to be super biased. And then lo and behold, 2022, all these developers, all these publicly traded developers are like minting gold.
Yeah.
So not only was I wrong, but I was very wrong. But it's always nice to relive those moments when you made a mistake. Hey.
You live and you learn.
I think that's when I was buying the most, is like 2015, 2016 too. I was buying the hell out of everything then. But
I think you will look back to you selling your properties and you'll be like, I made a mistake.
I think
I
so.
think that's what's gonna happen.
Every property I sold, I regret.
Oh, it's so funny.
some of the properties, some of the properties I had were like negative cash flow, so like I sold those for a profit, so I don't really feel too bad. My net worth grew quite a bit anyway.
You always gotta sell the ones that are negative, negative cash flow. Like that's a given.
Like some of the properties I sold were like so run down, like I didn't want to spend like the 30-40 grand to probably fix it, or 50 grand. It'd probably take quite a bit. And I was like, nah, if I can get like 80 grand for like a plot of land, basically, I'm gonna do that.
No maintenance on the land.
Do what?
No maintenance. There's no maintenance on land. But here's the deal. People can dump on your land and then the city will fine you. You have to hire people to go pick up trash on your land. It's so annoying.
Yeah, that's what one of my properties was happening to. It was like such a rundown house. People were like dumping there and like trying to find me and stuff. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna sell it for a profit and run. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad what I sold. Like, I don't really care because like my house is paid off and everything's like, most of my houses are all paid off anyway, so I'm not worried about anything that I did. I'm just waiting for another dip or something to go ahead and start buying up again.
If your house is like 80 bucks, or sorry, 80 grand, what's the point of getting insurance? Because like, isn't insurance pretty expensive, like 100 or 200 bucks for even like a cheap house?
I have a commercial loan that covers all my rentals, and it's like maybe a couple of grand a year for all of them. So it's super cheap when you break it down. And like, say if like a storm comes and damages like a couple of houses, I only pay one deductible for all the houses that were damaged.
That's a good insurance policy.
Right now.
Who's the carrier?
I think it's a Farm Bureau now. I'm not sure if they just do Tennessee or not, but
As long as it's not Lemonade Insurance. Lemonade Insurance is the worst.
no, it's a local company. I can go into their claims office and throw a bitch fit if I need to, but no, they're pretty good. Like I said, I just pay one deductible. I'm currently doing that on like 4 of my houses. So like the house got damaged, maybe like $40,000-$50,000 in damages, and I just do like $1,000 and they cover all the houses.
So my house caught on fire like almost a year ago, and like it took like over a year and an attorney to get Lemonade to pay out, and they're still like investigating and not like completing the house fixing it. And they keep sending me the automated email, and it's like, here at Lemonade Insurance, we want you to know we're working hard on your claim. And it's been like over a year, and it's like an automated email. They're like, this is bullshit. They purposely delay their payments so they can spend more money on marketing.
Another insurance company I had before, like they waited like 6 months to put the house because like there's a tornado basically came through and like ripped off my roof, and they were trying to deny, like they were just wanting like partially put the metal back where it was. I'm like, no, you're gonna replace the whole fucking roof. And they eventually did, but it took them like 6 months to do all that, but it wasn't no year or 2 years or anything.
Yeah, Lemonade's really bad, and what's funny is they just do this to get away. So if the insurance company is new, they can do stuff like this until they get too many complaints. And when it's an older insurance company, they don't do it anymore because they've already had enough complaints filed against them. So it's better to go with an older.
True with any insurance, like once they get enough like claims against them, then like they just go under, and you'll probably never see your money out of them, which sucks.
Bingo! It's like a pyramid scheme.
Insurance is like the biggest scam ever. Like, I hate having it, but like once I found like a good like company to work with, I was like, it's not too bad, I guess, if I'm only paying a couple of grand a year.
and you can go and harass them. The problem with like Lemonade, it's like a corporation somewhere far away. Like you have a small business, and that's what America's destroying is the small businesses. Like the small businesses don't rip you off; it's the big corporations usually.
Yeah, that's what I try to do with like local banks and local insurance companies and stuff like that. And help
But see, we can't do that. We're all like corporatized. You know, you still live in like the good part of America. Like the rest of America, it's like we're slaves to like these overlords.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I definitely want to stay here in Tennessee or maybe Texas, but I'm not going anywhere out west or anything like that.
Yeah, corporations have a lot of. It's like so dystopian, and like they make videos in the future where corporations run everything, and like literally in the big cities, it's already happening.
Yeah, I can't deal with that kind of stuff. I have to be in like I have to have my own space, you know, my own yard, my own land and stuff. Like I can't deal with huge cities or crazy corporations or anything like that. And that's actually what happened to one of my local banks. They got bought out by a somewhat bigger company, and like the whole atmosphere of the bank changed, and it just went to shit. And that's when I moved like $1 million worth of loans out of there and refinanced with another local bank.
That's dope.
But then I paid them all off, so I don't know if they're mad at me or what, but hopefully not. I'm still on good terms with them, but because they'll know they'll get more business in the future, and that's what they're after.
Yeah, I think the housing market for sure will correct if you go on the Wells Fargo website and the rate once it's above like 3.5%, I think is when like you'll actually see prices go down. Until then, I think prices will just stay the same, maybe even go up because we're not building enough units. But if they could,
no, because here's how the whole thing works. You have the supply curve, you have the demand curve. Demand curve goes up when you lower rates because people can afford more, right? So that pushes it up. And then supply curve is slightly shrinking because the input costs are rising. So it's just, there's two things that are pushing the prices up.
hasn't our immigration slowed down though? Like we have a lot less people coming from college to study here because of the pandemic. So maybe that will help, you know, with less immigration.
Let's see. That's a good TikTok idea. Thank you.
Go look it up. Yeah, this is dope, dude. This is how we get good ideas.
I'm in a pretty good spot though, like since the people are coming in and everything. So like there's a pretty good demand of houses regardless. Like even if it does start crashing in other places, like I think Tennessee will stay pretty solid.
But we could get more strict on immigration and we could cut out immigration and then you could see prices of real estate crashing because of no immigrants. And remember, as people get poorer, like remember how like the middle class is kind of shrinking? They'll downsize. Like in Tennessee, everyone still has their own house, but like in California, you have like 4 people sharing a room. You know?
All right, all right, guys. You guys want to hear the
Go for it.
Hello?
Yeah, go for it.
Yes. Okay. So in 1860, or I don't know, maybe it's 1850, but a long, long time ago, 150, 200 years ago, it was at 10% of the population, roughly 2.5 million. And then it basically stays that way until 1920. It stays the same amount till 1930. And then it starts to decline around 1930, all the way till it reaches the bottom at 1970, where it hits 5% of the population, 5% of the U.S. population. And then it starts to creep up from 1970 and on. And right now, as of 2019, the amount of immigrants in the U.S. is roughly 15%, roughly, a little bit below. So yeah, that is gonna be the next video.
So is the trend going up then? Are we getting more immigrants? That's bullish.
45 million people in the U.S. are immigrants.
But see, that's not the rate of new ones.
Since the 1970s.
But we don't know
This
if
is
it,
actually really interesting data. I did not know this.
I know real estate around here, I think like 40% of the population here, like they own houses, and the other 60% are all renters and everything. So
California, it's like
I know
80.
it's still a market. For rentals, anyways. I'm not sure about immigration and all that stuff. That's probably gonna make that number even, different. I bet there's gonna be more renters compared to people actually immigrating and buying a house. But who knows?
Yeah, it's not above the peak, so we're basically still below the peak, but we're close to the historical top. We're close to the historical peak since inception, since 1850. So we do have a lot of immigrants in this country.
That means housing prices are bullish. That's why the housing market.
I'm all for immigration. So I'm all for it. I'm an immigrant myself, so.
For sure. Oh hell.
So
But who knows? You have people immigrating from everywhere, and it's just crazy.
are you seeing that in Tennessee? Isn't it becoming more like diverse? Because like when I grew up in Indiana, it wasn't that diverse, but now when I visit Indiana and Ohio, it's way more diverse.
See it a little bit. Like there's, I know there's some illegal immigrants occasionally that pop up, but they're not like, it's not too crazy. And then there is some immigration from like India, and then what's the other one?
IT, tech support.
Well, they're buying up all this kind of stuff, but they're buying up a lot of the gas stations and the car washes and stuff like that around here.
Very good.
Turning them around.
Very good, very good. Shout out to my brothers. I'm part Indian.
Yeah. And then there's another one from, where are they from? I forget, they came from somewhere, but they got like their doctorate degree in like some weird country, but apparently it still holds value in the U.S. So they're a doctor in the U.S. from another country, and they're also buying into the real estate and stuff like that, and flipping stuff like that too. So there's some immigration coming through and actually investing. The real estate side as well.
Did you guys hear that background noise?
Yeah, man.
Okay, let me go shut the door.
That's funny. Are you drunk? I mean,
Why is it that all the landscaping jobs in California are Hispanic? Like I don't see any white landscapers. What's up with that? Can you get the statistics on that?
Hispanic. There's
They're in the office.
I've always wondered why there's certain jobs that like have specific races, like like Filipinos, a bunch of them are nurses, or